I will first present on the work of my office in 2023. For inquiries, my office received a total of almost 16,000 public inquiries last year, representing a 7% increase year-on-year. And about 1/3 of the inquiries related to the collection and use of personal data, such as the collection and use of Hong Kong identity card numbers and copies. And the other inquiries, most of them related to the complaint handling policy of my office, the application of the Personal Data Privacy Ordinance, the handling of personal data in employment cases, and also some of them relate to access to and correction of personal data. In 2023, we received 793 inquiries relating to personal data frauds, which represented a 12% increase when compared to the figure in 2022, the year before. With regard to complaints, we received 3,582 complaints for 2023, and this represented a drop of about 7% year-on-year. This was mainly attributable to a drop in the number of doxing cases handled by us over last year. If you take a look at the red part in the bar chart, the red part, you will see that they relate to doxing-related complaints, and there was a drop from 630 cases to 525 cases in 2023, and this represented about 17% drop in the number. However, if you take a look at the blue part, which related to the number of doxing cases uncovered by us by proactive online patrols, the drop is even more significant. It dropped from over 1,000 cases in 2022, the year before, to 231 cases in 2023, and the drop is about 80%. This slide shows the top 5 private sectors which attracted most complaints. And you will see that banking and finance and also the property management sectors topped the list, followed by retails, telecommunications, and clinical services. For compliance checks, we initiated 393 compliance checks last year, and the figure was comparable to that of the year before. And for last year, in 2023, we received 157 data breach notifications, with 48 launched by the public sector and 109 from the private sector. And if we take a look at the total figure of 157, this represented a significant increase of 50% when compared to the figure in 2022. From the pie chart to the left of this slide, you will see that 41% of the reported cases involved hacking. Another 27% involved the loss of documents or portable devices. And the other causes leading to the data breach incidents included, for example, inadvertent disclosure of personal data by email, post, or fax, employee misconduct, system misconfiguration. And if we take a deeper look at the number of hacking cases which we received last year, actually the number more than doubled that of the previous year. And there was a significant increase from 29 cases which involved hacking in 2022 to 64 cases which involved hacking in 2023. Mind you, these 64 cases also included hacking cases related to an instant messaging app. And these kind of cases accounted for 23 cases of the total out of the 64 cases. Hacker groups or ransomware involved in data breach incidents in 2023. From this slide, you will see that Lockbit and Black Cat topped the list, with Lockbit involved in 6 of the reported cases and Black Cat in another 2 cases. Whereas all the other hacker groups or ransomware were only involved in isolated cases. If I may now turn to our work on doxing. In 2023, we handled a total of 755 doxing cases, representing a significant drop of 50% year-on-year. And as I have said, this was mainly attributable to the significant drop in the number of doxing cases which we uncovered through our proactive online patrols. And actually, the drop in the number of doxing cases online was in the region of about 80%. If we take a look at the cumulative situation from the implementation of the privacy ordinance back in 2021, October 2021, to the end of last year, we handled a total of 2,884 doxing cases. And this included doxing cases uncovered by our proactive online patrols and also doxing-related complaints. As regards the doxing complaints received by us in 2023, you see that the cases mainly involved monetary disputes and family and relationship disputes. These two categories alone accounted for over 60% of the total. And you will also see that political dispute only accounted for 2% of the total. I believe that this phenomenon and the significant drop in the number of doxing messages online was mainly because of the deterring effect of our enforcement actions and also because of a more cordial atmosphere in the society. Cessation notices. Under the amendment ordinance, as you may be aware, we do have power to issue cessation notices to request the removal of doxing messages. In 2023, we issued a total of 378 cessation notices to 23 online platforms, requesting them to remove over 10,000 doxing messages. And I'm very happy to report that, notwithstanding that most of these doxing platforms or most of these online platforms were operated overseas, we have been successful in achieving a compliance rate of over 95%. And other than individual doxing messages, we have been successful in removing 117 doxing channels after the issue of the cessation notices. Remember that all these channels, they may contain hundreds or even thousands of doxing messages. Cumulatively, if we take a look at the position from 2021 onwards, during the slightly more than 2-year period, we issued a total of 1,878 cessation notices to 41 online platforms, and we requested the removal of over 28,000 doxing messages. The compliance rate was over 95%, with 192 doxing channels removed after the issue of the cessation notices. And this was on top of the removal of individual doxing messages. Criminal investigations. In 2023, last year, we initiated 140 criminal investigations, and we referred 31 cases to the police for further follow-up actions. The cases were referred to the police because under the privacy ordinance, we are required to refer cases which involved the more serious doxing offenses which caused specified harm to the victims to the police. And other than that, if the case involved crimes other than those under the privacy ordinance, we have to refer them to the police. For arrest operations, we mounted a total of 30 arrest operations in the year, with a total of 31 suspects arrested, and 2 of the operations were mounted as joint operations with the police. Cumulatively, over the 2-year period, we initiated 254 criminal investigations, referred 63 cases to the police for further investigation and follow-up actions, and we mounted a total of 42 arrest operations with 43 suspects arrested. I will now turn to the report on food ordering using mobile apps or QR codes at restaurants. Dining out has become increasingly common nowadays, with an increasing number of restaurants offering electronic ordering services that allow customers to order food by either using a mobile app or by scanning a QR code. However, my office also noticed that when restaurants provide this kind of electronic food ordering services, they may collect personal data, and this will pose some risk to personal data privacy. And that is why, over the past 3 months, my office carried out visits to 60 restaurants that offer electronic food ordering services in order to assess their data collection practices, including 10 restaurants that offered mobile apps for food ordering, and 50 restaurants, 50 restaurants that provided QR codes for food ordering. And here are the review results. We found that out of the 60 restaurants which provided electronic food ordering services, basically all of them also offered non-electronic means for food ordering. For example, over the counter or ask the waiter to order the food. And out of the 50 restaurants that used or provided QR codes for food ordering, only 4 of them collected customers' personal data, and this was on an optional basis. And out of the 10 restaurants which offer mobile apps for food ordering, 4 restaurants required customers to register accounts, and they collected customers' personal data in the registration process. And for the other 6 restaurants, they did allow customers to use the mobile apps in the capacity of guests, that is, without any registration. However, 4 of them still collected customers' data, even though they ordered in the capacity of guests during the payment process. Only 2 of the restaurants did not collect customers' data throughout the process. Another important finding of the review is that all restaurants reviewed that offer mobile apps for food ordering basically carried out user tracking. What does that mean? That means that the restaurants collected customers' information, such as data through cookies, the geographic data, and also their browsing history, transaction records, and also their payment records. So there is quite a lot. And we also find that all these restaurants, all the 10 restaurants that offer mobile apps for food ordering also carried out direct marketing. And in particular, we find that there's one restaurant which carried out direct marketing, but apparently the restaurant did not obtain consent from its customers. And that is why, in respect of that restaurant, we have initiated an investigation according to the normal procedure. Through this review, we have also published a pamphlet today to offer recommendations to customers and also to the food and beverage industry. For customers, if they are using mobile apps for food ordering, we advise them to understand the information to be collected and shared by the apps before they decide whether to use or download the app. They should also consider whether they should download or use the app solely for the purposes of in-restaurant dining. In addition, we advise them to read the personal information collection statement carefully to determine or check the privacy setting of the mobile app in order to adjust the privacy setting to limit the access permission given to the app. And in particular, they should also check whether the app provides an option to them on direct marketing. If they don't want to receive all the direct marketing materials, they should adjust the privacy setting and indicate that they object to such direct marketing. For customers who scan QR codes for food ordering, we advise them to check the authenticity of the QR code, whether the QR code has been maliciously tampered with. They should also check the authenticity of the relevant website and the third-party ordering platform. We will also advise them not to provide personal data as far as possible. If they are required to provide personal data, they should only provide the minimum of personal data in order to place the food orders. Recommendations to the food and beverage industry. In the same pamphlet, we provide recommendations to the industry, and we advise the industries try not to collect personal data of customers as far as practicable. If they really need to collect customers' personal data, they should limit that to the minimum amount of personal data. And they should also allow customers to place orders as guests, that is without registration, if they are offering any mobile apps for food ordering. In addition, if they are using customers' data for direct marketing, they should inform and seek the relevant consent from customers. Because basically, under the privacy ordinance, it is an offense if anyone uses another person's data for direct marketing without obtaining consent from that person and without going through a set of specified procedures to provide the customer with specified information. And we advise the industry that the setting for options for direct marketing should not be set as agreed by default. They should, for restaurants which provide QR codes for food ordering, they should also regularly check whether the QR codes have been maliciously tampered with. And they should also formulate a data retention policy, and they should not retain the data for a period which is longer than what is necessary.